Hey, what's up guys? It's C-Stacks with another unboxing video. I just got my H.A.M.M.E.R set, which is the final set in the Children of the Atom arc and the last set to be released before Gen Con. So let's just go ahead and open this bad boy up. There's some cool cards in here. Let me get the plastic off here. Oh my goodness gracious. I really suck at getting the plastic off this time. Alright. I got the sticky part stuck on my fingers. Okay, let's take a look at the box here. So, we have Mimic on there, of course. Dakin, as I now believe it is pronounced. Bullseye, of course. Let's take a look at the side of the box. In this final installment in the three-part Children of the Atom story arc, the hammer has been dropped and the X-Men are under assault. It's interesting that they said X-Men and not Resistance. Embrace the questionable methods of Bullseye, Dakin, and Mimic, and power up your deck for the coming epic battle of freedom versus rule of law. So let's go ahead and get into it. We'll real quick glance at the rule sheet here. Just try and get it to focus. As usual, I won't go over the whole thing. I'll just hover over it, and if you're interested, you can stop and give it a read. Pretty long section on Mimic, of course. Alright, let's get to it. Okay, so we've got Bullseye, main character first. Obviously, he looks like Hawkeye. He's got a 2-5 range, 5 wounds. He's got perfect aim. It's a combat for a red. Choose a defender. Bullseye gains attack this combat until his attack is equal to that character's, to that defender's defense. So he's going to be exact. And then he has Perfectionist, level up for 3 XP. When Bullseye strikes an enemy character with attack exactly equal to their defense, he gains an XP. And then at level 2, he's a 4-8. Now he has Everything's a Weapon. He loses that first ability, which is kind of important. But now he has Everything's a Weapon. So main for yellow, put the top card of your deck into your KO pile. If it is a character, daze an enemy character. An equipment, wound an enemy character. A location, move an enemy character to another of its rows. Or plot twist, stun an enemy character. So I think that ability is really, really cool. Obviously, I think you always want to hit an equipment or a plot twist, preferably an equipment. But I think there's some cool stuff you could do with this, and maybe like, Starhawk or agents or something to be able to manipulate or predict what you're going to hit. I think that card's really cool. I think that level up condition might hold him back. It's really kind of specific and maybe difficult to achieve, but I haven't played with it yet, and I think that level 2 power is really, really cool. Now we have Dakin, which is another really cool card that I like a lot. He's a 4-3 with 5 wounds. He has I Am Not My Father, any turn combat red. Dakin gets +3 this +3 attack this combat, and then he has I'm Supposed to Be Him. He needs 4 XP. When Dakin stuns an enemy character in combat, he gains an XP. If it's Wolverine, he gains 4 XP instead. So we have a direct counter to Wolverine. He levels up right away if he stuns him. And then he's a 6-6 at level 2. He loses that first power, but now he's got Berserker, so when he attacks, he gets a +1. He's got Lethal, so if he wounds a defending supporting character, you KO it, and he has Regeneration, so at the start of your turn, he'll wound from him. I think this card's actually really good. All these are really good keywords, so we'll see what happens with him. And then we have the guy, the big bad right now. So we have Mimic. So he's a 2-2 with only 4 wounds. And he doesn't have any superpowers or anything. He just has checkered past. So you start the game with an absorption history. So what an absorption history is it's a separate pile. If you're not familiar with this card yet, it's a separate pile of exactly 1 level 1 main character, 1 level 2 main character, and 1 level 3 main character. And basically at level 1, you reveal your level 1 main character, and Mimic has those powers, the superpowers. Superpowers and keywords. So if I had Dakin here in my absorption history as my level 1 main character, I would have this I Am Not My Father. I would be able to pay a red and get +3 attack. I wouldn't have this level up condition. He's got his own level up condition, which is Power Hungry, When another character appears, Mimic gains an XP. So anyway, once you get 6 characters appear, you turn into level 2 Mimic, who has no superpowers or keywords or anything. He only has a level up condition. Oh my goodness. Sorry, I've got a new camera. So he's a 4/4. He's got Power Thirsty. When another character appears, Mimic gains an XP. He needs 5 of those this time. And again, once you level up and you're level 2, you pick a level 2 from your absorption history for him to gain those powers. It has to be a different character than your level 1. So if I had Dakin here as my level 1 absorption history guy, I could not have a level 2 Dakin. But I could have like this Bullseye or whatever. So that's level 2. And then at level 3, he's just blank because he doesn't need an XP condition, and he's just whatever level 3 powers you want to put on him. So there's lots of really interesting and cool and crazy and wonky and broken stuff you can do with this. It's like literally build your own main character. You can do like literally infinite variations on Mimic. So that's pretty cool and kind of scary. So we'll see what happens at Gen Con with that. I think a lot of people are going to be on some variation of Mimic. So let's get into the supporting characters here. We have Hammer Enforcer, 2/1 with a range and 1 wound. He's got Swarm, so you can have any number of him on your side. And he's got Soldier, which is the one where when he appears, you put out -1 counters on supporting characters equal to the number of soldiers. So we saw that first appear in the Shield vs. Hydra set. Here's a really, really good card. 1-drop Victoria Hand. She's a 1/3 with 1 wound. She's got Agent, so she lets you look at the top card of your deck and rearrange equal to the number of agents. And then she has a Right-Hand Woman. The first time a main character on your side uses a green superpower each turn, they pay 1 less green. So that's really good in a lot of decks, I would imagine. Here's another interesting card. We have Ghost, 2-drop Ghost. He is a 3/3 with a range and 1 wound. He's got Intangible. Ghost can't strike or be struck in melee combat. And then he has Invisible. Ghost doesn't protect characters and can attack protected characters. So it's kind of like Stealth, but he can do it even when he's range attacking, because Stealth is on melee attacks, but he can just do this whenever. So that's a pretty interesting card. Here's a funny card. So we have 2-drop Grizzly. He's a 5/2/2. He has no text, which really annoyed me at first because I hate that kind of stuff. But I've since been informed that this is a Magic joke. I don't know much about Magic, but apparently there was a Grizzly Bear card who was a 2/2 blank for 2 mana. So this is kind of an in-joke on the Grizzly Bear. We have Headsman. He's a 3-drop. He's a 4/3 with Flight and 1 health. He has Executioner, so combat red. If Headsman is melee attacking an exhausted character or an exhausted defender, he has Ferocious and strikes with triple his attack this combat. So triple attack. That's pretty all right. Here is I think probably the best support character in the set though is Paladin. I think that's the one, right? Yes. So 3-drop Paladin, 6/2 with range. He's got Stun Gun. Any turn combat blue. When Paladin stuns an enemy character this combat, it can't recover until after its next recovery phase. I think that's really, really good. We've seen how good Net Launcher is, and now we have Net Launcher with legs. So I think that's a very good card. We have Scourge. He's a 2/6 with range, 2 wounds. He's got Leader, so when he's team attacking, you choose who the defender strikes back against. And he has Betsy's Incendiary Missiles. So main for a blue, burn an enemy supporting character Scourge could attack. I don't remember which one burn is. I would check the rulebook right now, but I'm not going to do that in the middle of a video. You can go look up burn. It's something like at the end of each turn or the start of each turn it stuns and it lasts for the whole rest of the game. I think, something like that. Here we have 5-drop Mr. X. He's a 6/9 with 1 health. He has I can predict your every move. While an enemy character is in solo combat with Mr. X, its current attack and defense can't be higher than its printed attack and defense. That's kind of interesting. We have our final Emma Frost card because we had an Emma Frost on the Resistance team, so here's the Hammer version. She's a 7/6 with 2 health, and she has Fluid Forms and Fidelity. If you would power up a Mutant Resistance Emma Frost supporting character with this card, you may have her transform into this card instead. And obviously, if you remember, the Resistance version of this card has kind of the same power where they can basically swap out, they can tag out. Okay, so Organic Diamond Form. When this card appears or is transformed into, she gets +4 defense this turn. And I think maybe the other one gets +4 attack. I don't remember. All right, so we have the Void. He's an 8/8 flight and range. He's a 7-drop. If I can get this to focus in. He has no escape. When the void appears, KO each sentry supporting character. Sentry supporting characters can't appear. So that's flavorful and cool, but probably won't see much play. It depends on, I guess, how much sentry we see. And then we have our final two cards here. We have Mob Mentality, which is the one where your main character may pay an Earth. If it does, team attackers on your side get +3 attack and can't be stunned during combat this turn. I think this card's really good. And then I think Alcatraz is okay. This is an alright card. So we have Alcatraz, which is it's a prison. During your main phase, but not during combat, your main character may pay an Earth. If it does, turn this location face down, then move a face-up enemy supporting character on to your side and hide it. When this turns face up, when it turns face up, move it back. Sorry about that. So this is kind of a, I refer to it as like a less good net launcher, because basically what you're doing is taking one of their characters out of commission for a turn, kind of like net launcher does. But this, you don't get to keep it like net launcher is equipment, so it sticks around. This is like a one-time use, and it can only take supporting characters. So I think it's all right. But I definitely think that Mob Mentality is the better of the two. I think Paladin is a real standout card here. I think Victoria Hand is great. Obviously, Mimic is incredible. I really like Dawkin. I think Bullseye has potential. Overall, a really cool set and a fun way to round out the Children of the Atom arc, which has been pretty cool and has a lot of really, really awesome cards in it. And so, yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.